So, welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs through a set of 4 to 5 MCQs. The idea is very simple. We want you to cover your current affairs because current affairs form a very important portion of your prelims examination. Around 40 to 50% of the MCQs asked in prelims are directly or indirectly related to current affairs. Therefore, preparing current affairs for prelims is extremely critical. And what better way to prepare for current affairs than by getting the much needed MCQ practice on a daily basis? Because 4 to 5 MCQs covered on a daily basis would add up to more than 1200 MCQs from the topic of current affairs alone. Now, 1200 MCQs just from current affairs are more than sufficient. Therefore, I shouldn't say this or I shouldn't be repeating this, but you need to make this lecture series a part of your daily routine. It will really serve you well. Make it a daily habit of yours. Alright, let's start today's session with question number 1. Consider the following statements regarding major and minor minerals in India. The revenue generated from mining leases of major minerals goes to central government, whereas in minor minerals, the revenue goes to state government. Mining leases for major minerals are generally longer, up to 50 years. Central government can categorize any mineral as major mineral. How many of the above statements are correct? Now look, minerals are very important for any economy. Okay, now minerals in India can be divided into two parts, major and minor. Okay, now as far as major minerals are concerned, these are those minerals which are strategically, economically, and business wise very important for India. These include the likes of coal, iron, nickel, cobalt, lithium. Some of them are even critical minerals. Okay, these are very important. Minor minerals, including gold, also. Minor minerals are of low economic importance, but they are important. Okay, so for example, sandstone, marble, clay. So, mostly minor minerals are those minerals which are used in construction, but major minerals have many applications. Clear? Thing is that as far as minor minerals are concerned, they are regulated by state governments. But when it comes to major minerals, well, they are regulated by central government. Central government has an organization called Indian Bureau of Mines, which is under Ministry of Mines, IBM. They regulate major minerals. Okay, now how are major minerals or minor minerals mined? Well, government of India or government actually gives mining leases to mining companies. These mining leases are for a certain period. Now the lease means that, for example, the mining lease period is 10 years. So it means that for next 10 years from that particular area, this company shall mine that mineral. Okay, so if coal blocks are allocated for a lease period of 10 years, then that particular company who got that lease will have the rights to mine coal from that area for 10 years. Okay, the thing is, a lot of revenue is generated for the government through these mining leases. Now you should remember this. When it comes to minor minerals, revenue generated goes to the state government. When it comes to major minerals, revenue generated also goes to the state government. The only thing is that the regulation of major minerals is done by central government, but the revenue generation goes to state government in both cases. Okay, so first statement is false. But yes, major minerals, the mining lease period for major minerals is generally very long, up to 50 years. For minor minerals, it's very short. Okay, now the power of categorizing a particular mineral as major mineral is with central government. So this part is correct. Okay, central government can categorize any mineral as major mineral. Mining leases for major minerals are generally longer. This part is also correct. Only two are correct. B. Okay. Question number 2. Which of the following statements are correct regarding 3-language formula for schools? This formula calls for teaching 3 languages: English, Hindi, regional language in school curriculum. This formula was first introduced in National Education Policy 2020. As per NEP 2020, it is mandatory for states to make English and Hindi compulsory. Now look, what is three language formula? Three language formula states that every school in India, because schools are under state governments, should teach English, should teach Hindi, and should also teach a local language, okay, regional language. For example, there is a school in, let's suppose, Andhra. So they should teach Telugu, okay, so regional language basically. So all students in India should be well versed in English, Hindi, and their local regional language. Now, this three language formula was first proposed in National Education Policy of 1968. Okay, so this formula calls for teaching three languages in school curriculum. Absolutely correct. Okay, this formula was first introduced in NEP 2020. No, NEP 1968. In NEP 2020, well, the thing is that more flexibilities are given to state governments. Now, under this three language formula, as per NEP 2020, more flexibilities are given. That means English is compulsory, but other two languages can be any Indian language. Okay, it's not necessary for you to teach Hindi also. As long as you're teaching two Indian languages, that is permissible. So more flexibility is now given under NEP. Okay, so this statement is false. As per NEP, it is mandatory for states to make English and Hindi compulsory. It is not mandatory to make Hindi compulsory. You can choose any two Indian languages. Okay, so this statement is also false. Okay, select the correct option from below. Both statements are false. The options are incorrect over here. The answer should have been only one. I'm so sorry for the incorrect options. Okay, only one. Question 3. Which of the following statements is are correct regarding Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan? It is an overarching program for improvement of higher education in India. It was launched in 2018 and it subsumes teacher education scheme and Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan. Okay. So the thing is that before Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, because Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan was launched in 2018, before that, school education, for school education, there were three schemes. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, okay, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, and teacher education. Now, all these three schemes, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan dealt with primary education, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan dealt with secondary, senior secondary education, and teacher education dealt with educating teachers who teach in these schools. Okay. Now, these three schemes dealt with school education. All these three schemes were subsumed under Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan in 2018. So, Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan is not for higher education, it's for school education. Okay, higher education means colleges and universities. This scheme, Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, is for school education. So this is false. It was launched in 2018 and it subsumes teacher education and Rashtriya Madhyamik. That is true. Apart from these two schemes, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan was also subsumed under this. So only to B. And last, consider the following regarding National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. Under this program, India has set itself a target of eliminating tuberculosis by 2030. The program operates under four strategic pillars: detect, treat, prevent, build. Health technology assessment is mandatory for any AI technology to be approved for TB screening. Okay. So, National Tuberculosis Elimination Program has basically set itself a target of eliminating TB not by 2030 but 2025. It was earlier 2030, but this NTEB, this elimination program, advanced this target by 5 years, and now the target is 2025. So, this is false. Now, this entire program runs on four pillars: detect TB cases, treat them, prevent further TB infection, and build the healthcare system to deal with TB infection. So, these are the four pillars: DTPB. So, this is correct. Okay. Now, for detecting TB, many AI tools are doing the rounds. Okay, many AI tools have been generated. Now, for an AI tool to be used for TB screening and TB detection, well, generally a health technology assessment is done, or medical technology assessment board approves that technology, and only then it is basically used for TB screening and detection. But it is not legally mandatory, or it is not mandatory. A technology, AI technology, can be used without HTA, health technology assessment as well. But generally, government first conducts a health technology assessment before using any technological innovation for medicine. Okay, so it is not mandatory. The mandatory word over here is wrong. So this is incorrect. Which of the above statements is are not correct? 1 and 3 are not correct. Okay, so C. All right. And with that, we conclude today's session. I'm so sorry. Yeah. With that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'm sure it has added value to your preparation. It would add more value if you revise this lecture as well, because revision, and what do I mean by revision basically? Just spend another 5 to 10 minutes going through the written detailed solutions to each and every MCQ discussed above. Now, those written detailed solutions can be found in our notes, and these notes are available on our Telegram channel. Well, the link to our Telegram channel is provided in the comment section below this video. You just have to click on that link. It will take you to our Telegram channel, and from there, you can download the notes for not just this lecture, but all the other lectures featuring on our YouTube channel. On that note, I'll be signing off. Thank you so much, everyone.